So yesterday we have covered the theoretical part of uh, yeah, good evening. So you all can yesterday we have covered the theoretical part. Today we are going to make it more practical. Specifically, we will try to cover how to create a servlet, how to link it with HTML part, and how to create a small a calculating application or a small application for using the servlet, and how we can use servlet to create a web applications. So this is the basic part. So I think everyone knows the people who never did coding in Java, it will be a little bit tough for them. But yeah, people who knows Java, they can easily understand what I am trying to do with this. So servlet is a Java program that runs on a web server and handles client request. It is a key component on Java based web application. तो servlet पहला component है जिसके थ्रू अपन वेब एप्लीकेशन बना सकते हैं थ्रू जावा. So it's a server side Java program. And second, it uses HTTP protocol. So hypertext transfer protocol is used by servlet for request and response. We are going to see the practical example of that also. And then SS, you are raising your hand. Anyone who have any query, they can unmute themselves and ask question directly. And till that time, you can stay on mute so that class can go smoothly. And life cycle that we discussed yesterday, it is initialization, then service, and then destroy. So these are the basic things that servlet do. And using how we use HTTP method, right? So we use HTTP method in a two parameters. One method is do get method, second is do post. So we are going to take example of do get also and do post also. What is the difference between do get and do post, how they are going to help us out. And for request and response, there is already two classes that we use. One is HTTP servlet request and second is HTTP servlet response. And third and most important cheese, web.xml. It is known as the deployment descriptor. So deployment descriptor is a file where we do all the mapping of a project, where we can map our servlet, our JSP files or multiple files into the same level, right? So these are the basic things that we are going to do today through servlet. So if you use different integrated development environment, there will be a different thing. But in overall, there are few basic things that is common. First, we need to install a server, right? So you can install a Tomcat server or a Glassfish server in your IDE or without IDE. So that was important part. So we can see, because when we are creating a web application, it is required to create a local web server, and that is provided by Glassfish and Tomcat. So we can start the server, because without starting the server we can't run a lot of things. So we have started the server. So you can also start your servers in your laptops or in your Apple desktops, wherever you are practicing your advanced Java part. And it is more about practical, what to say, go ahead today. So whatever you are going to learn today, you can go on your system and do practice, because in programming language it's not about theory, it's about practice, how much you do through your own hands. And whatever you are practicing, you can make sure that you can do in your real life also, because without practice there is no programming language, I think. So it's the same as normal language. How much you practice, it's more important. How much you read, it doesn't matter in a long term. So we have started our server. So initially in NetBeans, if you are doing it, you can create a new project, and there are multiple projects. There is Java with Marvin, and Java with Gradle. So we are creating Java with Gradle where you can choose Java application, then next, then you can name the project and you can go on to the finish, right? So we have already created a project that is GP2. So we are going to create HTML files over here and servlet file in these things. So if you go into the GP2 folder, you can see web app folder into source src folder. So where are all my index file or HTML file or JSP file are there. So you can right click onto that web app folder and you can create an HTML file. So these are how you can create a servlet, JSP or HTML or any EJB file also. So first we are going to create an HTML file because whatever you are going to do on web, it is purely on HTML, JSP and servlet. So first is HTML, whatever we name, we can name it test1. So test1 is our HTML file and we can click on finish. So the file is created, that is why it is showing it is already exist. So now if we'll go over there and we can search into this list. So test1 HTML. So it's in blank HTML. So you can code different things over here. If you know HTML coding, HTML tags and header to hello world. And hello world is an legendary Java keyword that we use in all starting of programs. So after that, if you have created this HTML file, you can go on to that main project, you can right click and you can focus on clean and build. First we have to do the clean and build. It is important because build will create a war file and a jar file also. So after clean and build, it is like in compilation of that program. So it is building up and it is showing into our this part it is trying to build. I hope my voice is clear. Okay. So build successful in 1 minute 2 seconds. So whenever you are initially compiling the program or building the program, it will take little bit longer time first time. That it will be go little bit faster. And at the same level, you can check the Glassfish server. So the Glassfish server is also started and it is waiting. There is no error as such. So you can check the server is working. Your build is complete. After that, you can run the thing. So first time it will automatically go on to the index.html file. So from there we will shift it to somewhere else wherever our main file is. So our file name is test1.html, test1.html. So hello world is there. Now what we will do, we will create a servlet and we will try to communicate through that. Okay, whenever we are going to enter some value over here, it will reflect on our servlet. So for creating a servlet, what we will do? Again, we will go on to the web app folder, or you can directly also create through here. Right click, new servlet. So you can servlet also name it test serve. So you have to make sure ki name should be what to say. You will remember the name and you can use the name in future. Add information to deployment descriptor. Sometimes it will going to automatically add these mapping to the web.xml. Sometimes it didn't. So you have to also make sure in future also. Now, so which are the main classes in HTML or specifically servlet that creates a servlet. So HTTP servlet is important class. So we extend HTTP servlet. Now HTTP servlet is a class that normally finds into JavaX package. So javax.servlet, and these are the packages that we use, right? But in NetBeans, if you are trying to do it, it's not into JavaX, it's into Jakarta package. So we are going to import those packages also, Jakarta, and HTTP servlet request again. These are into main into Jakarta.servlet, not javax.servlet. So you have to do these things manually into your project. Okay, what is missing, what is not missing. So add import to all those, and we have to delete these. So you have to make sure कि you should remember कि normally the servlet or HTTP servlet is available into JavaX package, but in NetBeans and specifically Glassface it is available into Jakarta. So there is no more error, I think. Yeah. So there are two things. One is do get method and do post method that we have to override whenever we extend it, HTTP servlet. So what do get do and do post do? Whenever we are going to call this servlet through HTML file or through JSP file, it is going to through do get or do post. And how it is going to decide? It is deciding through what method they are calling on HTML. So in HTML part, what we will do? So in HTML part, we will try to create a form, a basic form. So you can find these tags through internet. Action, our servlet name is test serve, and method, how it is going to call it. So method is first is get. So get is going to call do get method, and whenever we are write a post, method is post, it is going to call do post method. Now what we will do over here, we can create a text box, input type, and we have to give a name to this number one, and we can also and then input type is submit. Submit is for creating a button for a form to submit. So what will this do? This will create a text box into our HTML file, and through that text box, whenever we are going to call the test servlet, it is automatically receive this data into that servlet part. Now what we will do? Uh, we will have to check web.xml file to make sure कि servlet is mapped correctly. So you are going to find web.xml into build or src web inf folder. So web xml is there. So now these are the servlet that is already created. So now if we are going to search our test servlet, is it there? No, the test servlet is not there. So what we can do, we can make sure okay, we have to map this. So there are four things into mapping. So first is servlet name and servlet class. This we create the alias for our test servlet. So we can in future can call through this name, and servlet class is test servlet, whatever we have put in the name of this class when we are creating a servlet. So test serve is our name. So we can copy it also, or we can make sure कि okay, this will be same name should be there over here. So test serve we have put in the same name. Now the mapping. whenever it is URL pattern is going to call, we have to make sure that this name should be same, this name and this name. Now how it map through the URL pattern? So this test serve is bind with the servlet name, and this servlet name is bind with the servlet class. That's how in online world the URL pattern or the URL that is accessible onto our this part. So this is the URL part. So this URL is going to access through this part only. So now if this is completed, our mapping is completed, this is completed. Now what we have to do, we have to make sure test it is working and the link is working. So now we have to again click on the folder or project, we have to clean and build, we have to rebuild the program because it is, we have edited few things, we have created a servlet file. So we have to compile it, and after compilation we will execute it. Then you can go into run mode. So our the HTML file name is test1.html. So hello world, our text box is there and submit is there. So now we will going to write anything over here and submit. Now the test servlet is called. So the both HTML and servlet is linked. Now what we will do? Now we will do whatever we are going to write over there. We are going to retrieve that part into that servlet and print it on the screen. So that we can do through. So now what we will do? There are two methods, do get and do post. Do get and do post both calls the process request. Process request is user defined function that we created, so that the calling of servlet comes through do get method or do post method. We are going to execute both. Otherwise, normally it is going to, if the HTML calls into different function, कि if वो do get की जगह do post call कर रहा है तो it will throw an exception. So that is why we have created or overridden both function, and through both function we are calling the process request. Now in process request function or do get and do post method, there are two three things that we need to make sure. One, there are first parameter is HTTP servlet request class object is as a parameter, and second is HTTP servlet response as a parameter, and both of them throws servlet exception and input output exception. So we have to make sure that this is common in between both, and both do get and do post method. If you will see the do get method that we created, that is HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. And again in do posts it is HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. So whatever we are getting into do get and do post as a parameter, we are going to pass it on to the process request. Now in process request what we are doing, first we are making sure the content type should be in HTML that we are going to write. Now in core Java we used to write system.out.println to giving the output into console or a DOS, right? But in what to say, in browser we have to giving the output onto a browser into HTTP format or in HTML format. So we are created a writer class function. So response.getWriter. So request object is used to retrieve the data that came from HTML to server side, and response is used to give result from server side to client side. So in both ways, response is for response generation, request is for retrieving the request from the client side. Now what we will do, so because of out the print writers object, whatever we are writing it is reflecting onto the browser. Now what we have to do, we have to retrieve the data that is coming through that what to say string hash our text box on that HTML file. So string s. Now how we retrieve the data? We can use request object of HTTP servlet request, that parameter request dot get request dot get parameter. The parameter name should be same that we have given the name over there. uh, so our input time or text box name was number one, num1, right? So we have putting that num1 over here, and that num1 will, through get parameter, receive the data whatever we will enter over there, and it will put it into string object, and we will write it over here. So till now what we are trying to do, whatever we are going to write over here, it will reflect onto the servlet part. Now what we have to do is first clean and build, compile the whole uh, project, then we have to run it. So now we will run it. So our HTML file is test1.html. So it is there. So now we can write hello Java and submit. So servlet test serve at hello Java, right? So whatever we have input, given the input into the text box, we are retrieving through our servlet, and we are printing onto a browser. Okay, so that's how a web application works. A static program is never going to receive these kind of data. It's the dynamic and web application or a backend programming need to be done for accessing these data. Now what we will do with this, so a lot of our login pages can be created through this. You have to log in your username, password, then they will retrieve those data, and that is going to reflect onto our account side. Now what is the difference between do get method and do post method? And it's very important part. So do get method is little bit fast, but it's not secure, where do post method is little bit slow, but it encrypts the data and then send it. When from client side the request is going on to a server side, so the data is completely open, so it can easily accessible. Like, till now what we have used, if we are going to go and check into HTML, so we are using method get method. In get method what happens, in URL you can see the hello Java. So whatever we are writing over there in that text box, it is completely open part in URL pattern, or it is throwing to the server side, so it can be easily accessible. So these kind of get method used for Google, where you search a thing, or you know the security is not important of data, so you can use get method. But in post method, what will happen if you use the post method? So what we will do over here, we will change method from get to post. Now we will compile it and again run it. We will see the difference. Okay, what is happening over here? I hope till now everybody is understanding what is going on. If anyone has a issue, they can discuss. So clean and build is completed, successful. Now we are going to execute it. What will be the difference in between those two? So our HTML file is again test1.html. So hello world. Now again we will write the hello Java or hello servlet. So here in URL, you cannot see the hello servlet because it is encapsulated, or it is encrypted. But in that part you can see the hello Java into the URL pattern, or the name of that text box also. So that's how what is the get and post method works. So get method is little bit fast. It just picks the data and send it to the server without encapsulating or encrypting it. Where post method, what they do, they first encrypt the data, make sure that it is not going to detect through URL or any other things. It is going to throw the data after encapsulation to the server side. So get method is not so secure, but it is little bit fast, and post method is little bit slow, but it is purely secure. So all the credential, login, username, password is normally goes through the post method. So these are the difference between get method and post method. Now what we will do after post, we are going to create a small calculator where we can add up two numbers and we can reflect those number onto a servlet part. So over here we create two text boxes, and the second text box name we can put number 2. So there will be two text boxes. We can put a, what to say, any name, and we can write the drop down also. So if you have any issues regarding those, so you can drop down in HTML. So you can create a drop down also. So we are going to do addition and subtraction, both things. So you can copy it, and when you are going into deep programming, you know at the end Google is going to help you out into programming whenever you go into an programming company or working on a project. Why? Because in that nobody cares about your learning, everybody cares about deadlines, timely deadlines. So that's how we can create a drop down through select. So option value is first is add, and second is subtraction. So the same we can do over here, add, subtraction, name is uh, Kelsey. Kelsey. So it will create a, what to say, a drop down menu. So there is two text box and one drop down. So whatever number we will enter over there, and on the basis of our drop down we will select addition or subtraction, it is going to perform a task into servlet. So now we are going to retrieve these three data onto our servlet. So what we will do over here, so again, till now we are doing the string thing. So integer n1, and now we have to make sure ki it is should be parsed into integer. So we can use integer class to parse, and we have to import into a language package. So integer is also imported dot parse int, and so now it is going to parse whatever the string is coming from HTML part, we have to convert it into integer. Now it is n2 and number 2 text box. When we have retrieved the both part, now it is about our string cal, जो calculation होगी उसकी. Now so the third part name was Kelsey over there. So whatever we are going to retrieve into these things, we are going to create a calculator or that can addition or do subtraction. Now we can write the if else statement, because on the basis of data we get from the drop down, okay, it will go doing addition or subtraction. After that we are going to print it, and we can write the result, int result is equal to 0 till now, or we are going to print the result. So we are going to write result of So result is 0. Now if statement, what we will do, if cal dot get equals cal dot, sorry, equal. So we have, you have to make sure it is case sensitive. So we have to pick the as it is case. So add. So what we will do, result equal to n1 plus n2. So it's going to add both numbers. If cal dot equals to sub, so we are going to perform subtraction. So result is equal to n minus n2, n1 minus n2. And if both doesn't come, what it will show, because there are chances that user is not going to accept, and both is done. So we are going to write over here cal also result of cal plus plus. So I think it will work fine. But whenever you do the practice and there is some error come, don't worry about errors. Just focus on the process. Okay, where it is going to stuck. Now we are going to clean and build. So any one of you, any query regarding this process or where we are going to doing it, you can ask questions, because you know it's more important to do practice, I believe. So test one is our HTML file, test1.html. So there are two top text boxes, one drop down menu and one is submit. So we are going to enter 12 and 10, and addition is by default selected, and submit. So result of add is 22. And again, if we'll go back and we will do sub part and submit, result of sub is 2. So that's how we can use servlets to create a web application, and all the web application can be done over here. So if you are going to use it, so out.println is purely an HTML thing. So you can also create the, what to say, a background color also. You can change the the designing of whatever we are writing. So if we will want to do, so h1, if we will do it to h2, so it will automatically, what to say, the size of this will reduce automatically. Anyone who is not comfortable with HTML, please practice HTML to go into web development or web application development, because front end part will always be into HTML, CSS, that is style sheets, and third is JavaScript. These three things will help you out to create a good front end part, and back end part can be developed through Java or any other language that is you are comfortable with. Now we are going to run it again. So test1 .html,
Hello,
55 and 5, and addition is
hello.
60. Yeah, hello.
Sir, sir, can you explain the flow program?
Okay, we can explain. uh so if we can see, the size of text is reduced in between, so from h1 to h2. Now we are going to explain, as asked, what is the flow of the program. So initially we will, after compilation, first we are opening the HTML part. So in HTML part we have write down the name of our servlet. So we have created a form, right, where there is two text box are there, number one, number two, and one drop down menu is there in the name of Kelsey, where there is two value, addition and subtraction. So this is the part of HTML. So when HTML is going to get live, or we have created a servlet that is going to handle both the number and do the calculation, what will happen when we will run this HTML form is going to call test server. So first it will go into the web.xml file. It will check, okay, this URL is called and this URL is mapped with the test server servlet class. Then it will go into this servlet class. Now we will start the servlet. When we are going to call a servlet, we start a servlet, right? Now first servlet check it is called through a do get method or do post method. So get method is little bit fast but it is not secure. Post method is secure but not so much fast, right? It encrypts the data. So when the method is going to call, right now we are using do post. When do post calls, there is two objects come from the client side. One is request and one is response of HTTP servlet, request and response. Now we are shifting to the process request because we have overridden the both method do get and do post, and we are calling the process request method over here. Now when it will come in over here, so request part is come as in we are retrieving the data from client side. So request is like request.get parameter. So request.get parameter helps you to retrieve the data whatever is coming through the HTML part. So there are two parameter or three parameter over here. One parameter is number one, second parameter is number two, third parameter is Kelsey. So number one, first we request dot get parameter and we have put the name in number one. So whatever we are entering into this text box, number one text box, it is going to retrieve that data, and we are trying to do integer calculation. So we have converted those strings because the data initially comes through HTML, it comes into string part. So we have going to convert that string into integer. So we have saved that data into n1 variable, that is the integer type. Then again number two we are going to request the parameter number two. So whatever we have entered into number two, it is going to again convert into integer and shifted into n2. Now the third parameter is Kelsey, the drop down menu. So there are two value, addition and subtraction, and both are strings. So we have again did the request dot get parameter and use the Kelsey, and we have saved into Kelsey, and we have created a variable called result. Initially we have given the number is 0. Now we are going to do if else because on the basis of whatever user is going to select. Okay, so over here user is going to select subtraction or addition. So these two drop down menus, addition and subtraction, on the basis result will come. So if you choose the subtract, it will show 50, and if we will do the addition, it will show us 60. So on the basis of whatever customer or user is choosing over here, it is going to show us the result. So what we will need in programming, whenever you are going to create a decisions, so सबसे basic decision making syntax is if else statement. And if you are going to do a lot of decision making, you can use if else statement into a looping part or iteration. So that's how we do it. So we are going to do go addition or subtraction. So there is only two decisions that we have to make. So what we did, we are going to check whatever is coming into Kelsey, is it add? If it is true to be add, so we are going to add n1 plus n2 and stored into result. And if it is going to subtract, so we are going to do n minus n2 and store into result. So that's how, on the basis of whatever user is choosing on that drop down menu, we are creating the addition or subtraction and storing into result variable. And after storing into result variable, on now print writers object out is useful. On out, in core Java we used to write system out.println. So out.println is going to write onto a browser. So we on browser we have written down some HTML content, and HTML on h1 or h2, if you'll heading 1, heading 2, or HTML, whatever you want to write as a paragraph, or whatever you want to put on, want to create a table, want to create a button or a form, you can write that HTML coding in Java program. That's what servlet is. So you can use your HTML coding into a Java program and give output to the user back to their browsers. So we are going to write result spelling is wrong over here. So result of calc. So in cal, whatever user is chosen into the HTML part, addition or subtraction, it is going to print that. After that it is going to print the result. So if it is addition, what is the result of addition, it is going to print that. And if it is subtraction, it is going to print the result of subtraction. So if you can see, it is add 60, and when we are going to select sub, it is subtraction 50. So whatever we are going to choose onto that HTML part, it is going to reflecting us on the servlet part. So that's how a servlet works. So we can create even 5 servlet, 10 servlet to intermediating transfer data. So initial part can be HTML on web application, or in web application the first file can be an HTML file. But after that, when data is, you are transferring the data from one page to another page, or calculating the data, so you have to make sure that your data should not be gone or again destroyed in between. So you have to make sure that there are multiple servlet who can handle the data. So that's how we can implement servlet, or we can use servlet to create a lot of programs. So through this you can create the whole calculator, or even you can create an what to say, table content, or a loop ki, okay, you want to write a table of 20. If the user is going to enter 20, it will automatically give us all the result. And if you are going to write prime numbers, factorial numbers, or any other calculation that we used to do in core Java through while loop or for loop, you can easily execute those things over here also. So servlet is purely a Java programming that helps you to write onto browser, retrieve the data through HTML. That's how servlet works. Anyone, if there is a small program and anybody wants to create a program, they can also tell me what program they like to see. We can create it right now. If it is a small program, if it is a big program, it will take at least 15-20 minutes or maybe half an hour. So if there is a small program that you want to see, you can tell me, we can create it right now. And also I'm sharing the attendance form also, so please fill in the attendance form.
सर
Yeah.
सर मार्कशीट प्रोग्राम बना दोगे
क्या चीज?
मार्कशीट प्रोग्राम
Marksheet program ki, okay, you want to take input of 5 numbers and then
यस
average
सर
it out and show the grading, right?
यस यस सर
Yeah,
टोटल
we
मार्क्स
can.
एंड एवरेज
Yeah, we can create it. Give me 2 minutes. So I'm sharing the attendance form. Do we have to do it along with you? Okay, Shanu, you can do it if you want to, uh, in Hindi and English both, right? मतलब, anyone who wants to go into programming, you have to do the practice, right? If you are not doing practice, and if you are, I know a lot of people thinking ki we got the certificate of 2 days. Certificate of 2 days has no values, right? Because if you are going to get a job into development, or you are going to get a job into IT field, you have to do a programming. So for programming, you have to do it yourself. You have to practice it. And these days, you can take a help of chat GPT also. But if you don't know how to use programming, and then you cannot, even chat GPT can't help you out, right? So chat GPT or Google can, or even on YouTube, you can find a lot of program or a lot of content. But if you don't know what is the error or what is the issue is going on, then it will be tough for you to do it. So whatever we are practicing over here, you can practice tonight or tomorrow according to your comfort. But do practice, because it's so important. Because till the time you are not running it yourself, or executing or compiling it yourself, you don't get a confidence, right? So it's important to do the practice. Now what we will do, if the guy is saying okay, it's a mark sheet. So in mark sheet there are 5 numbers, we will take it 5 and we will average out those numbers, right? So we will create 4 and 5. So there is no drop down menus required into that program. Number 1, number 2, number 3, sorry, number 3. And when you will program, right now I'm not doing it, But when you will program, make sure user cannot enter a string, because whenever user is going to enter a string, it will throw an exception to your program. Okay, string, you are trying to add string values. So now over here, what we have to change, we have to change what there are, this part we have to change. So result is not need to be changed, Kelsey, and this Kelsey should be removed now. uh, so anybody is writing, again nobody is writing, so there is no need to raise hand, you can ask questions. मतलब आपको हाथ उठाने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप अनम्यूट कीजिए और आप पूछ सकते हैं कोई भी इशू जो आपको है। कैल्सी यहाँ से हटा देते हैं, बिकॉज कैल्सी वेरिएबल हमने हटा दिया है। So there are n3, n4, n5, n3, n4, n5. So we have to rename the variables n3, n4, n5, and here also you have to change it number 3, so number 4 and number 5. So we have created number 1 to number 5 over here. So we have accepting 5 numbers and we have put in over here. Now what we will do, result. So result is equal to n1 plus n2 plus n3 plus n4 plus n5. Even you can use array if you want to, you can create an array of 5 numbers and you can use the loop to make sure it will happen, and then divide by 5. So what it will do, whatever number we are going to enter, okay, and on the basis of that number we are going to do the average. And now what we will write it down, if average is uh, above 80, so we have written down the result over here. So now we can write the if else statement, or you can write the 5 if else statement. If result is greater than 80, so what should it be written, out.println h1. Over here we have to remove this part. So grade A, if else if result is greater than, what to say, 70, so grade B to say, and else if result is greater than 50, it is grade C. And the last else is, if it is below 50, it should be failed, marked as a fail. Failed, better try next time. So we have saved it. Now I think what is happening over here, there is no errors, I believe. So what we will do, again go to our project GP2, clean and build, and run the program. And our HTML file is again test1.html. So there are 5 text boxes. So out of 100, what we will do, 80, 70, uh, again 80, again 90, or 95. So it should show us grade A into the servlet part. So result average is 83 and grade A. Or now if we will do some 40, 45, 35, 50, or 55. So average should be below 50. So below 50 it is failed, better next, better try next time. So that's how you can create the mark sheet, or the average out, or what to say, decision making, ki how on the basis of 5 subjects you can declare the result of a student into student management system or some test management system. So these are things that help you out to create a program or web application. So you can create an testing application or online test exam application through this servlet only. So you just need an HTML and servlet to create an online test examination series. You can take 10 exam, people will give you the result, and on the basis of their ABCD or multiple choice questions, you can create the result ki, okay, out of 10 you have given the correct result for 6, so you have passed. If you have given the result or you have tick marked the right answers for 3 only, you are failed. So you can create lot of programs or lot of web application through servlet only. So this is the servlet part. Again, I'm sharing the what to say, attendance form. Please fill in the attendance for the certification, or anyone has a question till that time they can ask me. It's an open forum now. uh, Simbu, you can ask, you don't have to raise hands, you can ask any query.